Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement. And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Sulman Rahim here. Mission of the Covenant. Break of 7 seals. Brothers and sisters. Let me see something here for a minute. You know, the time has come. I've warned you about this for 35 years. 35 years. And now time is here. Let me see something here, brothers and sisters. And if you listen to that broadcast today, just when I thought that they could get worse, the lies were off the page. The lies were off the page. And we'll go through a couple of them. We'll go through a couple of them, brothers and sisters. I want to show you something else here right quick. Let's see if I can find it. Because they don't know who they're messing with. They have no idea who they're messing with. Okay. No, it's not there. Okay, let me try one more thing here. Let me see this one. Okay, this might be it here. I just wanted to show you some. Oh, yeah, it is right there. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll work with that one. See, I call them mind assassins. Mind assassins. And that's what's going on right now, brothers and sisters. Let's see here. You know, they changed their tone. This over there. They changed their tone dramatically. Dramatically, brothers and sisters. Dramatically. Also, they intimated that, oh, we're not like the Caucasians now. And a race of devils, that's what lies, man. But that ain't what they've been teaching. Right? And I'm gonna go through some of those things one by one. See. And let's see. I'm just praying something for you, real quick, brother, sisters. Okay. I think this will be informative. I was going to do it, but I decided to do it anyway. See. Let's see. Now, they claim that he was talking about that he predicted this war in the Middle East. That's a goddamn lie. All you got to do is go back and look at it. He was talking about Armageddon. And plus, he said Armageddon would take place, what, 3 years ago, was it? This war was going to be an Armageddon, would spread all over. I don't see any Armageddon. He said nothing about any Middle East. I was telling him, I said, watch today. They're going to find some kind of way to, like Farrakhan, just like he did with COVID. After 7 months later, he knew all about it. So he ain't said anything about this war, nothing, not even a mention of it for the last few weeks. All of a sudden, boom, right? All of a sudden, he knows all about it. But he's not committing himself. But I thought he was supposed to be shut up. He's supposed to shut up. He wasn't supposed to say anything. I thought God told him to shut up. So isn't Lion Ishmael his spokesman? So he should be shut up too, right? It's all BS, brothers and sisters. Let me see. Let me check this. No, I'll take that out. What's the three things? It says, okay, we just go with that for now. I'm considering whether to talk to you about this now, bounces, because I don't want to get too complicated here. Right. So it's oh, yes. Well, yeah, that solves that, and then, oh. That was it. Okay, we'll do with that. Okay, brothers and sisters, let me. Second here. Okay, there you go.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world? Called mind assassin. See, I've been telling you, brothers, this is a mind war. It's a mind war. Because ultimately that's what it's all about. Even if you have a physical war in the battle, it's still about minds. It's minds fighting for dominance. Because the mind, right, is what forms your reality. And so your reality conforms to your mind. And who has the most powerful mind will form the reality, and everyone else is in subjection to it. Right? And I've been saying, it's a mind war. I mean, if you're out there on the battlefield or whatever you're doing, still, it's two minds. Right? They may use the physical means to accomplish their goal, but it's still minds directly. You need a mind to shoot a gun, a mind to push the button for a nuclear weapon, right? It's still mind. It's still, ultimately, it's a mind war. So if you understand, you go right to the mind, because if you can control the mind, you control all the weapons that the mind controls. That's why I was telling our brothers and sisters in prison, if they learn how to manage their mind, empower their mind, the devils could not keep them in there, because the devil's mind is keeping them in there. The reason why they're in there, because they're in subjection to a mind that's more powerful than theirs. Because it takes mind to keep them in there. It's really a battle between minds. And my purpose is to teach you how to empower your mind. Empower it, energize it. Because right now you have an inferior mind because they gave you an inferior mind. And because they have inferior mind, even though they control your energy. They control your energy.
So later on, I'll have another presentation about what's going on. I'm going 24/7. But they're going to retaliate. I told you this war was coming. I told you when it was coming, how it was coming, who's going to be involved in it. You can go out there, unless they deplatform you soon, you can go out there and check. And see, I've been talking about in detail, not that BS you heard today from those clowns. Also, he knows all about, well, how come you mentioned it last week before? See? And it's still hedging. Watch the weather, right? So they say, we know something about it. They still ain't. They don't say what the outcome is going to be. Anything. I'm telling you, the outcome is going to be. Soon, Iran is going to hit American bases. Very soon. It's all at war now, but then it's going to be acknowledged. Hit American bases. And they're going to send, it's going to be well, it's going to be, people in America are going to be off the page. They're going to be hysterical. They're already talking about impeaching Donald Trump and using the camp because they don't have control. The Democrats don't have control of the House because what he did was illegal according to them. See? So I told you all this is going on. I said everything's it's blowing up in their face. Everything's backfiring on them. So I'm gonna talk about that a little more in a bit. Let's go through this first. Mind assassin. Now, I'm gonna point out a few things that I know you don't understand. See, because let me put it this way. Say, for instance, somebody's got a beautiful backyard, it's nice and clean, and right. And at night, while they sleep, you send put a couple of pigs in there. Now, pigs, right? They're gonna be pigs. That's what pigs do. They're gonna turn into a pig pen, right? They ain't doing anything bad according to them, right? They're gonna do what they naturally do. See? So I told you, the mind war. And so you had Master Muhammad, right, came with a new mind, because the mind we had was the mind they gave us. See, they used a lot of stuff, they mixed a lot of stuff, they took a lot of my information today, they mixed a lot of stuff in there. I'm going to talk about that in a minute too, right? I was going to say, wow, they just put my presentation up there. Just mix it in and all kind of stuff. That's what I'm talking about. I call that falsehood. That means mixing up with truth and falsehood. I'm going to talk about that in a minute too. But he came with a new mind, and so he imparted aspects of that new mind to Elijah, a mind that superior to the mind of this world, right? But trying and to attempt to restore our mind, but Elijah wasn't permitted to do that, because he said he was supposed to preach the wheat and the chaff together, right? But if he mentioned the covenant will come and restore your mind. He was just getting you prepared to receive your new mind. Right? Challenge your old mind, because first before you get a new mind, you got to get rid of the old one. So he started eating away at that old mind, right? Preparing you. You got to empty the glass before you can put something else in it. So empty your of the old and prepare you to accept the new. Because see, you can't take something out of the freezer and throw it in the frying pan. It's no good, won't work. You got to throw it out first. So he's a throwing out process, preparing you for messing the covenant with. That's why he said that way. See? But in the meantime, you had a clown that would try to put you back in the freezer. But let's talk about, so anyway. So, a new mind, right? So now the devils, they see this, because they see that it's something different. They know it's something different because you're acting different, and they have a problem controlling you. They want to maintain control. So they say, well, yeah. So how can we stop this? And we got documentation, right? How can we stop it? So mind against mind. So they plot. So how do we neutralize it? Well, one of the first things is that a mind without a vision is like a car without a steering wheel. It ain't going anywhere. It's going to run the stuff. So you need a steering wheel. That's the vision. You have to have vision. So he did establish. Elijah Muhammad did establish the vision. That's the vision. Abrahamic covenant. And the proof was this. So he said, "Oh, first of all, we got to destroy that vision. We got annul that vision. Right? Destroy that vision, whatever. Neutralize it." So they put up false Israel up there. And see, because you know something's wrong because just a few days earlier they was trying to wipe them off the planet. Everybody was on board with that. One of the biggest proponents of Nazism was a preacher in America. I can't remember what his name was. They just had rallies. In fact, up in Chicago, it was like Skokie or whatever. I forget. One of the biggest Nazi centers. This is all happening where they was on the side of Germany. And if you Google it, you find that majority of the devils in America is Germany. That surprised me too. I thought it would be England because they speak English. But they said the majority is from actually Germany. So they didn't want to fight with Germany. They was on the side of Germany. They wanted to get rid of them. They call them Christ killers too. So they should give all praise be to Elijah Muhammad because he saved their ass. Because he says no, and so they said we got to counsel that. So they put false Israel up there. They was killing one day, had to flip their ass one day. Next time they had a tongue at their ass. Hey, we love you, man. This is good shit. You said, how did that turn around after 2,000 years? Something turn around like that. Something turn around because they had to counter that. Because that would be devastating to them. Because if we choose Abraham, who are they? Who are they? That means they're Satan. Satan's their God. And so for all the lies they've been told, turns everything upside down on his head. And so those who curse Israel be cursed or love Israel, they've been cursing for 40 years. They can't have that idea in the world. Anyway, let's move on, brothers and sisters. So that's one of the first mind assassinations. We got to assassinate Elijah Muhammad. His mind, that mind. So the next thing is that what was his program? You see? Let's see if I can bring it up. If I can bring it real quick. Yeah. Right. He identified cocaine as being the devil's. Do for self, in other words, stop letting them control your energy. Don't fight for America. He actually went in prison. Went to prison. Because he was telling black folks they don't need to be fighting for this country during World War II. And the FBI told him if he just stopped saying that, they would leave him alone. He refused. So he lived out World War II in prison. He spent his time in prison. And then a vision, the promised land. Those is main, and God is a man. Those is 5 fundamental cornerstones. I mean, that was the cornerstone of his message. Those things right there. So you have to neutralize that. Now see, like I say, you see those pigs in there, they're going to do their thing. So, see, sincerity is one of the most powerful. Sincerity is a very powerful form for convincing people. Sincerity, if you're trying to convince people, sincerity is a powerful weapon. Because people sense sincerity, and they interpret sincerity as being truth. But it's not necessarily. So you can do one or two things. You can train some dogs to go in there and mess up that garden, or you just send some pigs in there. Then train the dogs. That means they control you. You control them, and they're not gonna do as good a job because they ain't sincere. They're just doing what they been told to do. But the pigs, they're just gonna, hey, they have him. That's what they do. They ain't trying to tear up anything. They're just trying to be themselves. So sincerity. So if you wanted to neutralize what Elijah everything did, you could either accept, because they said they didn't find someone that could do that in Elijah's absence. So you can find someone that, okay, I want you to go in there, and I want you to figure out how to neutralize this and turn everything around without them suspecting it. So you can do that. Find someone, right? But the sincerity factor we're missing because, they go out there trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, say that, right? And it's not going to be that smooth because it may be going against their nature. I mean, they're being paid to do it or whatever reason they're instructed to do it. So like it's not like the pigs. Pigs just naturally do it. Okay? Or you could take someone that would naturally do it. They don't even have to know that you sent them. I mean, you're going to find somebody to put them in charge, and they don't even know that they're working for you because they're just going to do what they do. So, devils are naturally, not by nature, opposed to everything Elijah Muhammad said, because against it by nature. Because what Elijah Muhammad said was he was attacking their reality. See? So they'd be opposed to everything he did, naturally. So if you can find someone like that and put them in charge, they don't even have to know that you control them. They can just, because they're going to just do their thing, which is natural to them. And so they got that element of sincerity, which is going to be more powerful, because it's going to seem like, yeah, man, because it's not like somebody controlling them like that, right? And they don't realize. See, the priests don't realize they're making a mess. They're doing their thing. So this person doesn't know. He may be in sincerity. He think he's doing the right thing. Because if you recall, see, y'all pay attention to these conversations. Remember the conversation Farrakhan said that Elijah Muhammad told him he'd be his worst enemy? He said, I couldn't understand why he was saying that. I mean, I was doing what I thought about. I was obeying him about where I thought I was right and where and I've been sincere to him. I've been loyal to him. Because I was doing what I thought was, I was being myself. Now, Farrakhan made a song a long time ago called "A White Man's Heaven is a Black Man's Hell." So just think about that for a minute. If that's the case, then why would he want to stay here in hell? But he made this while Elijah was around. Just the early days when Malcolm was around. Right? Because Malcolm was his mentor. So if he comes in, right, well, then he's a devil, right? Well, he don't want to call devils devils. Why would he want to do that? Why would he call his father a devil? Why do he want to do that? And why would he want to live in America? This conforms to his reality. Remember, he got the devil mind, he got devil nature, and this is the reality that devil nature produces. So he can home here. Why would a pig want to leave the pig pen? He's a home in pig pen. This is his thing. Why would he want to leave there? See? And if somebody tried to mess with it, why would he want to defend it? I mean, he wants to stay here. This is home. This is his reality. He wants to defend it. You don't want to leave it. You see? And he would be sincere. That's the way he'd interpret. He's getting control. That's what his reaction would be to Elijah's message. But he'll be sincere. He think he's saying the right thing because that makes sense to him. That's where he's going to interpret Elijah's message. He's sincere. And so therefore, he don't even know that he's nullifying Elijah's message. He think he's upgrading it. He think he's upgrading it. Like the pig, he think he taking that into a pig pen. He think he upgraded. He think, man, because it's for him to upgrade. Because, man, it's a pig pen, man, that's good for him. It's upgrade to him. The people only ain't upgrading him, but that pig is upgrading him, man. That slop and everything in there. So he thinks up. So he don't see anything wrong with what he's doing. Nothing. That's what makes so powerful. And he don't even know that the devil sent him in there to do this job. The pigs don't know that they sent me to mess up because for the pigs, they ain't messing up. He upgrading the whole thing. You understand what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? So you send somebody in that has that nature, but they can't look like what you expect them, can't look like the enemy. They look like you, so you accept them, and then it's that with sincerity, right? They look like you, and with sincerity, man, that's a winning combination. That's Farrakhan. Exactly what they did. Now whether he working them directly or not, it doesn't matter. If they got him in there, they know that's who he is. That's exactly what he's going to do. Because he don't call his father the devil. He don't call his children call his grandfather the devil. He don't want to leave here in America. He's going to fight for America. I mean, this is reality. Love it. So that means promised land. We're going to promised land. This is the promised land right here. See? There's an idea, right? Because the Quran tells you that the Christians said all of them would believe in that Christianity, spiritual stuff before they die. Now I get the back verse if you want me to do it, but it says that. It says they all believe in it before they die. And that's what he's saying. All of a sudden God ain't flesh no more. And that was all of the primary points, and he's against every one of them. He turned every one of them upside down, every one of them. Now how the hell you gonna say represent? But if he thinks he upgrading, then he thinks he's doing a good thing. He don't feel like he's doing anything evil, but he is evil. See, because to Satan, God is evil. Because he's against him. Anybody's against you, that's evil. Evil is a relative term. See what I'm saying? So he thinks he's doing the right thing. Whether the devil sent him in or not. In fact, if the devil didn't send him in, that's even more powerful because see, I'm an old man and everything else. But you're still doing the same thing. You're doing exactly what they want you to do. And what he did is exactly what the devil, in my war, he did exactly what devils would have him do. If they could do it on themselves, they could push a button. That's exactly what they want. Exactly. So it doesn't matter what he meant to do or don't meant to. See that meant stuff? I keep telling you, this language is designed, it's a devil language. Because when you get hereafter, there'll be no word called meant, what you meant to do. There's no meant in mathematics. I ran over you. I didn't mean to run over you. Well, how does that change anything? Because I didn't mean to? The fact is still the same. I'm run over, I'm in cripple for the rest of my life, but I'm feel better because you didn't mean to do it? Well, I meant to say. They even hit on that today. Well, you got to make sure your language is right and people know what you're talking. See, this stuff I'm talking about all week. Okay? They defend themselves because they're desperate. You understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter whether he's meant to or don't meant to. The fact is still the same. Whether the matter of pigs meant to mess up your garden or not. It's the fact still the same. They're a pig, they mess it up. So you say, oh, they didn't mean to do it. That's mathematics. You can't go by what somebody meant to do. You got to know what they did. See? Because that's how excuses and all that kind of stuff, white lies, all that kind of stuff, all that stuff is part of mischief and make shed blood. That's in nature. That's that language of mischief shed blood. Oh, they do something wrong. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. I don't give a damn whether you meant to or not. I can't read your mind. I don't care what you meant. I know what you said. So let's look at it the other way. Now that's what he did not naturalize that, but they naturalized what Elijah did. But now they know the messenger of covenant coming, and so they got to neutralize that too. See? And it doesn't matter whether the people they use to do it know they're doing it or not. It doesn't matter. The effect is still the same. See? So how would they do it? Okay, look at these 4 things right here. These are 4 things that primary has to do with the messenger of covenant. Energy management is what it's all about. Right? And that's what you're trying to tell people, energy management. You're trying to focus on energy management. Because that's what's going to get you out of here. That's going to get you into paradise. If you don't know energy management, you ain't getting out of here. You're not going to paradise. The people in hell is there because they don't understand energy management. If the people in hell understand, they can come out of hell, but we're not going to tell them, teach them how to do it. Once they're in there, we're going to abandon. They're going to be abandoned. They will, mess up prophet sent to them because they have the same much energy as everybody else, but they won't be able to turn it into quality. And so it'll be shit. Energy will just be in the form of shit forms because they don't know how to transfer it into gold. Because people in hell are going to be healthy. They'll have as much energy as you have. See? But what if you want to put you on a planet and all there's just shit there? That's all you're going to, well, you got a lot of shit. You got much energy everybody else. Oh, you got shit these. That's all you're going to do. You eat a lot of shit. If you understand that. So if that's the primary thing you're telling people, and that's your primary message, then you want somebody that's going to neutralize that. Right? So you have somebody come in, because that's the whole thing. Don't depend on devils anymore. You don't need devils controlling your energy. If you have somebody come in there, devils doing exactly that, controlling energy, Section 8, welfare, all that stuff, and disability, whatever. See? Now they may not even know. And they may even know they were sent in. Because the thing is that there was a case a long time ago, right? It was, I think, it was, it wasn't that long ago, right? It was the early days of the internet. When you started up on YouTube and stuff like that, right? I had a thing called Unknown Prophet. Right? And I had somebody come and get involved with me and everything, right? It turns out it was bullshit. And the person didn't even know themselves, right? Because I found out later they had got a message. It wasn't from me. But they were starting to get messages that drew them to me. Otherwise, they wouldn't know anything about me. Because somebody did a psychological profiling or whatever. And then they got in touch with me, and long story, a lot of shit happened. I finally got rid of them. That's why I tell people, beware of people just come out of the blue. Because they may know what they're doing, or they may not know. Because somebody may guide that person to you, and they don't even know they're being driven to you. You see? Because they want, because remember, the most powerful method they want to do, the most powerful message, they'll say, when you see the Son of Man in the heavens, Son of Man in the heavens, all nations are mourn. They want to neutralize that. That's the one they have to go physical against, because Elijah's message, Muhammad's message was powerful. Elijah's message was more powerful because he stood in there for 40-some years. But the message of covenant, that's the most powerful one at all. And so they wait, and they said the dragon was sitting there waiting, watching, they're watching. And they have to stop that message. But that one would be protected. That's another story, I'm not going to get there. So whether the person knew or not doesn't matter. The fact, see, I keep telling people, I don't care about what you say and what you meant. I care what the effect that you're having, your action. Whether you know it or not doesn't matter to me. Whether you knew you ran over me or not, I don't give a damn about that. You ran over me. That's mathematics. And you don't understand thinking that way. That's why Elijah Muhammad said you do the thing right and exact, right down to modern times. Right? So you want someone that claims they're representing this to be totally against energy management. They're totally controlled by the devils. They're totally against that. Totally. Yet they claim they represent. That makes you a hypocrite, for one. And that makes when people show up, that's example. So in other words, you're destroying that, and that's a clear message. You're neutralizing that message. And this ain't no coincidence. because they'll show up at the most critical moment, right? And then, right, that's the do for self and part of that, right? And then they have another thing, like another core message. Right? I said this war. Right? I told part of this war is about. I said this war is really not happened just accidentally. I said many times, right, that they won a war. But they won a nuclear war. They won a war with China specifically, right? Right? And when they see they're losing control, they throw us in the river, like it says in the scripture. Throw us in the river. Throw in that war. They won a war so critical that they have to start pulling people in. And they drafted, we'd be the primary people drafting. So they have to get rid of most of us. Because they came to the conclusion, we got to get rid of them. How do you neutralize that message? Because I've been spending the last couple of days saying, do not go. I says, that's part of what it's all about. They're going to have a draft. They're historical, we got to go to war. Have a draft. They send you in, and you ain't never coming back. That's the primary message I've been saying for you, and I've been saying it specifically the last few days. So all of a sudden, right? And I try to talk about the vectors. I'm gonna do it, point that out again today a little more detail. But how would you neutralize that? Because they don't want to. You tell them don't go, but they want to neutralize. Tell them don't go. You want them to go. And I'm the only one on the planet. Tell them don't go. See, so they would have someone to neutralize that. Right? So I'm just saying, I'm not gonna make any apologies here. See, because that's that devil stuff. I'm just telling you like it is. I don't give a damn whether they knew what they was doing or don't know. It's still the same thing. That's why I said, if you vote for me or against me, all of a sudden, our nation's at risk. Now people out there, how are they going to read that? If I'm the only one, so if they hear me tell them don't go, because I'm the only one who will tell them that. So without me, they don't have to worry about that. If I'm the one telling them, they need a positive message, someone to counter that if that's connected with me. Right? Our nation, we got to fight, man, we're in trouble. Our nation, America's in trouble. That's the way they interpret it. They don't say about the injury. That's why people interpret it. That's the one after. Our nation's at risk. But then you say, okay, you point it out and say, don't. That's wrong. You're saying it wrong, just to make sure, right? And then you put a safeguard and you say, okay, put it all in one place so everybody can look at it, make sure everything is said correctly, and put it in one place so you can do it right. And that happens. And then right there, say it again. A coincidence? I don't give a goddamn what a coincidence or not. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. See, I don't know who they think they fucking dealing with. So a dummy? It's the same thing. I don't care if they're intended or not. Same thing. Because that's what they're going to interpret. Oh man, he said don't. Oh yeah, but he said our nation at risk. Man, we got to protect this, man. We're in trouble. Our nation. And that poor fool's out there get his head blown off in China some damn where. And we was, oh man, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way. Oh, that's, see. And then all of a sudden, when you make it very clear that the injury is zero tolerance, you got to get the message right, firm, strict, right, 100%. It says it in chapter 22. You can't get one word wrong. And then you got a person that's supposed to be leading it saying, oh well, maybe you don't have to be all right all the time. Coincidence? I don't give a damn what. There ain't no coincidence. So I don't care if they intended or didn't intend it. It's still the same. That's why if you with me, you're either with me or against me. See? So all this is a coincidence? It affects the same thing. Because the point is that, oh, I didn't mean it that way. That going to help the people that may have taken that away? And then another clown, okay, messing the covenant. These people say, yeah, man, he's messing the covenant. He's the one. Man, you got down him. And then the hypocrite, so he say something to him, ah, man, I don't hear your shit get you down. You see what I'm saying? And you think all these is coincidences? It's like music, it all fits together on it. All the things I'm saying, and then, oh, well, there's another one. I ain't supposed to talk about this one. See, because remember, the second dimension is the emotional level. And when you get to math, we're trying to raise you to mathematical, where you get above the control emotional level. So what they got to do is drag you back to the emotional level. How you drag? You got to come up with something really emotional that you got to react to. You see? Now, you can't speak because you sound like a cold dog. People say, let me see how cold he is. You see what that's all about? Because if you speak to it, otherwise you got to fall back to the emotional level. That means we can't do anything but they did to us. Get down that level. See? Otherwise you're cold dog. Because man, look, this happened. He should feel sorry for him. It's just real pitiful. A really emotional event that you, if you don't react to that, man, you got to be a monster. Well, it's coincidence. I don't give a damn whether they intended or not. It's still the same. Because all those issues I mentioned, none of them are doing anything positive. It's all distractions. So it makes you think it was intentional. I'm not saying it was, but that makes you think was did not do anything positive, counter any of that stuff. Total negative. Producing nothing. Total distraction. Nothing to benefit this mess at all. But all these different things right here that neutralize it. And so either they intend or not, because they didn't intend it, or the devil would send somebody that would do it. So they're doing exactly what the devil wanted to do, and maybe they don't even know the devil controlling them. Send them in. Point them out. Maybe they was on the internet one day, and all of a sudden they got to pop a picture of me. Oh man, that's interesting. When that's the devil's mind control. Let's get that person that sends information, because we know that's a pig there. Just get that pig, send him in there. He don't even know we sent him in there, but he's going to do it. He's going to do a job. He's going to make the mess that we expect him to make. Because that's exactly what's happening. Because truth, there's no compromise in angel. It tells you the last day you can't change one word, nothing. Because if you do that, otherwise the whole thing is shit. I don't know who the fuck they think they're playing with. They're not playing with me. They think they are. Why don't you just come on and take the physical path? Let natural heart work out on your ass. Because the mental war. I'm a mental scientist, a mental god. See? It's like this other little trick they're doing here. Where's that one at? Let's look at this. Well, let me get to that one and come back to this. See here? This one. Nobody picked up on this one. And this is one they're pushing real hard right now. See? Because they're using Elijah Muhammad as a dummy. He ain't around, so they putting words in his mouth. So Farrakhan is the ventriloquist, they're putting words in his mouth. He's saying, Elijah saying this stuff, right? Don't call devils devil anymore, right? But it's really coming out of Farrakhan's mouth. He's putting words in the dummy's mouth. And then Farrakhan turn around and say, see, I'm saying what the dummy's saying here. I'm saying what he's saying, I'm saying what Elijah's saying. Well, it's really his words to begin with. And you fool for that because, yeah, Elijah said that. Yeah, what he's saying Elijah said is what he told, put in Elijah's mouth. Oh, they got other tricks too I haven't even told you about. I know them all. Mm-mm-mm. So you can't come and tell me, I don't give a damn what you meant or didn't mean. That's why it tells you, why you think they give me a little advice? I didn't need it. Tree don't bear no fruit, and don't bear good fruit, cut it down. Cut it down. That's just a shorthand of saying, hey man, they ain't with you. Why you keep wasting energy doing, obviously, where's the energy going? I mean, you invest in energy in something, where's the energy? If you give energy, right, you give a certain quality of energy, right? So if you give a certain quality of energy, you should get the fruit of that back. But if you ain't getting anything back, that means that energy going someplace else. It ain't going, it's not being used as you giving it. It's going someplace else. Is that too hard to understand? If you put energy in a tree, you won't get fruit. But if you put that energy there and you don't get the fruit, the energy going someplace else. Maybe some other tree is grabbing energy. It ain't going in that tree. That tree is not accepting it. Because trees produce fruit. You got energy, that's what it's going to do with energy. It grows. So if no energy is not, no fruit's coming up, especially if the fruit's bad, something's going on there. That energy is not being received. There's something going on there. It's fake. Maybe a fake tree. You put energy in, right? You put water in the glass, and you keep putting water in the glass, and the glass will never get full. Something wrong there. You put water in the glass, but it must be a hole in that glass somewhere because you keep pouring water and the glass never gets full. Every action has opposite equal reaction. So if you put energy in there, you should put fruit. It should fruit produce result. If no fruit result, that means there's some other action going on there. There's another vector being applied. I don't know who the fuck they think they're playing with. These are very simple things. But see, when you're stupid, you think everybody's stupid, because how can you think otherwise? A dog think everybody's a dog. If you're stupid, everybody think you're stupid. They think everybody's stupid because they can't see above themselves. No one can see above themselves. You gotta be wise to see somebody's wise. Because then you can appreciate it. You gotta know some mathematics to understand somebody knows mathematics. You know anything mathematics, you don't know if they know whether they right or wrong or not. So stupid people think everybody's stupid because they think they can't see anything any more than that. You keep putting fertilizer and everything else in there. Then where's the energy going? If it's not producing fruit, where's that energy going? Where's it going? You're putting it in there. Where's it going? Where's it going? That's the question. You mean that law doesn't apply? Every action has opposite reaction. It doesn't apply in that situation? Where's the energy going? They say if it doesn't bear fruit, that's even worse. Good fruit, but this ain't producing any fruit at all. So if you turn to bad fruit, then what's going on? I gave you good energy, but it's turning to bad. So what's going on there? But it ain't getting that far because it ain't producing any fruit at all. Now look at this right here. See, you got two cakes there. One's got a big piece of shit on it. I should have made it smaller, right? One got a little pinch of shit. But you know it's a little pinch of shit. Maybe no bigger than a head of a pin. But you know it's there. Somebody stuck a pin in a piece of in some shit and stuck in that cake. They stuck a pin, right? And stuck in that cake. Would you eat that cake? Would you eat it? What thing between that and the cake that you got a whole bunch of shit on top of it? You wouldn't eat either one of them. See? That's the angel message. Because it's just a little mistake. This little thing. And then you got somebody that's going to justify it. Well, you can't be true all the time. Can't be right, correct, or whatever they're saying. I just ignored it because I says, you can't convince me to touch that cake. Right? I don't care. Well, you just cut the side. I'm not going to touch it. And you're going to tell me that this message, when they actually tell you in chapter 22, that has to be perfect, and you're going to tell, well, man, really? Then you eat the cake. You eat it. Oh, I don't know what the fuck they think they're playing with. Let's look at this, brothers and sisters. This is what's going on right now. This is what they're trying to prevent. See, let's look at it a different way. Hold on, brothers, let me show us a different way. Let me show us a different way. Give me a second. I want to really get you to understand this clearly. There's a different way here. Oh, yeah. Yes, right. Yeah. Well, let me go a little slower here. Oh. Okay. And oh, that's what happened. Huh? Oh. Okay, that one. There you go. And there you go. Okay. It's not that necessary, bro. So I just want to highlight this a little more so you understand. I'm not going into details about it, but that's where we are right now. There you go, yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay. Mm-mm. Okay. Okay. Here you go. That's happening right now, brothers and sisters. See, the fake vision they put up in 48 is being dissolved. And they can't allow it to happen because that's what's going on in the Middle East right now. Everybody's so far behind because they was at each other's throat for 2,000 years, but now they're all formed because they're there to block our vision. And that's true vision, because vision unites people because they have a common goal, common destination. And that will unite us, like it says, because once that vision is established, right, it said we come together as a seemingly great army. When does it happen? When falsehood goes down, when that sign is gone. And they do everything to stop that. Because they're going to try to come to, they've come at me, they tried to assassinate me a couple of times. I don't talk about it too much. They have fake accents, stuff. They've done a lot of stuff. Nothing's worked. They try to imprison me. Well, they've done all kinds of stuff to me. I don't talk about it because I'm trying to get this message across. They haven't come to me directly, though. Even when they arrested me and put me in jail, they didn't put their hands on me. Nobody ever touched me. But in a minute they won't come. It says they won't come. They're gonna betray me. Who's gonna betray me? A Levite. Who's this Levite that's gonna betray me? How's he gonna do it? He already told me, Son of Man will be betrayed and given in the hands of men. You understand that? Hands of men? When is that? If you understand the angel key, when American Britain is cast out and he comes into the NOI, takes control of the NOI, he's in the hands of men. Betrayed and put to death. Ain't that what death is right there? You'll understand that. It's not going to work. Because I already know what they're talking about. It's coming. See? So only when somebody betrayed is somebody that going to pretend they're with you. I'm with you, bro. I don't know who the fuck they think playing with. I see them come for it. I see a lot of stuff that I don't talk about. You never let anybody know how much you know. In fact, sometimes if you have a betrayer, like I said, if you understand how pressure works, you don't kill them. Because if you understand pressure, that's a negative personification of a negative thing that's there. And if you get rid of it, another one, just replace it. So, but you know that one, so you can know it, you identify that and just watch it. So now you can, right? That's why we personify things. That's why we personify the devil, so we can see him. Instead of all this bad luck, how we don't know where it's coming from, so we can see it. See? So the betrayer, I'll know the betrayer. There won't be a mystery to me. Because if they were successful, how do I get out of here with my elect? They're just telling me that that's going to happen. A betrayal. Because they send me messages. Because he said he would see many things, not comprehend them. And so that happened to me quite a few times because I'm so busy trying to get this message because I don't see how it affects me personally. And so I stumble a couple times because of that. So that's why they send me a little message every now and then. Think about keep your mind on that one. See, get my attention because I'm so busy doing this. I can't keep up with everything. So I was busy trying to get some message because I didn't think how it affected me personally. So I would never went to Guam. But I didn't see that one coming. I should have saw it, but I was so busy getting this message across. I didn't realize that. Oh man, damn, right? So they sent me this particular message, like say, tree. Who do you think they'll send a message? Who they talking to? They ain't talking to the tree. Say a tree don't cut it down. A little, heads up to me. And they're gonna try to betray you in the hands of men. That's when you take over. There could be someone there that's gonna try to take you out. No, only a fool says everything you know. And when you see things, you don't tell everybody what you see, but then they know as much as you know. And then in fact, they'll turn around once they know that you know, they'll be wiser next time. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. That dam is about to break, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to go into that. And I talked about this here. That's how Master Farrakhan found us, right? But we weren't even dressing up. Right? That's what he found us. Then Elijah Muhammad in the 60s, we black and proud then. And then Farrakhan turned into, and if you notice, this is a white boy right here. This is a devil. They got devils in NOI uniform. No, devil, they know they're devils. They ain't not pretending. They got devils in FOI uniforms over there. They got that one Abel, he claims he's Hispanic. They got devils devils, male and female, in FOI uniforms over there. But now today, oh, we different. So they're trying to ease their message in because the angel, see, falsehood is that's why some of those cakes, right? Those cakes I was showing you, let's go back to those cakes a minute. Let me deal with that for a minute. So that's falsehood right there. Right here. See? Got a big old beautiful cake, but just a little pinch of shit in it. See? Well, that pollutes the whole damn cake. You're gonna concentrate how big the cake is. Some fool might say, well, I just cut this piece off. I cut that piece off. Shit in it. That's what falsehood does. See? And so when you go out to my, oh, well, this little thing, that's what he did today. A lot of falsehood. See? So you eat the cake, but you eating the shit too, we go with it. That's how the devil's been doing that for years to black folks. You see, remember when the music first, especially when rap first came out, it was like Sister Soldier, Tupac, man, it was messy stuff. Even the so-called Public Enemy. Was it Public Enemy? Right. And then all of a sudden what happened? Now it's shit, bitch, nigga. But the music is jamming. So you jam to the music, but you're taking in the shit. Cause that's going in your mind. Now you calling everybody, hey dog. Why you calling? Why? I told one dude. I was at the gym, right, and I was at the over there, wash my hands, right. Dude come and say, hey man, hey dog. I said, who you talking to? Look like a dog to you, or he got offended? Look like a dog to you? I mean, I don't care what you meant. I ain't no goddamn dog. Man, I was just trying to be. I don't care what you was trying to be. I ain't no fucking dog. We almost got into it. I was a little younger then. You see what I'm saying? It's not because of bitches, hoes, niggas. Who you think did that? That's that vector. So now, they tell me we don't like each other. They want to get a reason. It's our fault. No, it ain't our fault. They said the devil did to us, but it's still our fault that the devil did to us. No, we ain't unified. But he don't want to go and say the devil's the reason why they're doing it. That's happening. Because that's what we're teaching our kids. Teaching our kids to be disrespectful and everything else. Look at that Cosby stuff. Before Cosby stuff, kids wouldn't eat. My father was mine. He was hell on wheels. That was a hard 5 years with him. That was a terrible 5 years. But I'm glad. I ain't like the process, but I love the result. Because when at 14 years old, I was a man. I knew I'd take care of my business. I was ignorant as hell, but I took after that 5 years, right? That was like what do you call it? SEAL training, Special Forces training. Because I came out of that, boy, I ain't never feared anybody after that. I remember one time, I was staying with my aunt, right? They didn't give a damn about us. And there's a guy called Bay Boy, and he was like, he was on the first floor, we were on the second floor. And he was a numbers man. He was hung up with the mafia or whatever, right? But he took a liking to me. So he like tried to take me on his wing, right? So he opened up a pool parlor around the corner, because I lived right in the middle where everybody was hanging out at. I lived right on the corner where everybody hung out at. Right? So that was something else too. I tell people, people might call me a nerd. I hung out with the brothers. I was a little cold gang, could have condor stuff. I thought, Nobody, I didn't take no shit from anybody. I was always fighting. I was little. I mean, I didn't weigh anything. I was small, right? I didn't take shit from anybody. I was always fighting, right? When I came back from Vietnam, I said, "You still fighting everybody all the time?" Because I didn't take no shit. And you tell me right away. You get in my face, start selling wolf tickets. I didn't listen. I didn't want to talk. You in my face, all boom, we get it. Boom, right? So he had this on the corner, and he was friends with Deion Walker. They came over a couple times. I didn't know I was related. What I did at that time, I didn't know. I didn't know. Well, let me say I didn't know because I'm related to them. Because they're the drinkers, right? And the drinker singers. They came out of that Dionne Warwick, what's her name, Whitney. They're all in their family, and they live on the drinkers live on 13th North 13th Street, and we used to go over there. And I remember my mother was alive. She went away or somewhere, and she left us with them for a while. So me and my sister lived with them, with the drinkers, right? And they was related to Dionne and Whitney. Now, I don't know how the strong the connection was, but I knew it was related. And so she shows up there one day. I had never met her personally. I knew drinkers when I was a kid. After my father passed, I used to go there and be with Renee and Denise. They was all my cousins, right? I used to go and spend time with them. I used to walk all the way across town to be with them, right? So anyway, she showed up there and she was friends with him. Like, he was a bookie, right? And he has a pool room there. And something went down. I forgot what went down. And he used to let me take and run him. He was when he wasn't there. And he used to they used to gamble in the back, right? In the back, right? And I go out and gamble for a time. I beat him. I was smarter than them. They didn't like it. And that's what it was. That's what it was. And there was this guy named called Fox. He was just a pimp. He's trying to get over people. And so, big boy, he had left. He left me in charge and was in the back there gambling. And I beat Fox out of the hand, beat him, and he got mad because I busted him and took his money. Right? So he got mad. So I went to the men's room. I came out, that dude had a gun in my head. Right? And I said, and I didn't get afraid. My heart didn't beat him. He actually pulled the trigger and the gun didn't go off. And I whooped his ass. And this was before I even got to the injury. My father made me fearless. When I went to Vietnam, I was fearless. I was really high emotional. I used to get in fights all the time. I didn't take no shit from anybody. He said something. I was about to on the air, like you jump out of cars on people. You cut me off, I'd cut you off, jump out of the car and went over. I was like that. But I had no fear. So that's what my father did for me. So I don't know what to make of it, but I've always been fearless. I said, he put that gun in me like that, I didn't. I looked at him, and pulled the trigger, and then go off. I was just saying, that was the worst thing that happened to him, was I tore his ass up. Right? So I'm just saying, right? I don't know how I got off on that, right? My father was, there was a term of 5 years. Anyway, we're back to falsehood. I don't know how I got distracted here. But that's what happens. And these people say stuff, and they tell you, oh man, no. Because when Angel Mess has to be perfect. And if I say something, I correct it real quick. Because it's designed for a certain thing, a certain wavelength, certain people. And you can't just, and that's what they did today, all that falsehood. They kept mixing Elijah stuff with Farrakhan stuff and everything else. And so you think, hey man, you see the cake, and you don't pay attention to the shit that's in it. Well, that's what I was talking about. How rappers and all that kind of stuff, that's why we got for that stuff, right? How they put that stuff in there, and you jamming, all that stuff. And now you call people bitch and hoes and all this kind of stuff, right? You call ourselves that. That comes from them. That comes from that Cosby stuff. All kids don't, they talk back to their parents and all that kind of stuff. They didn't do that when I was a kid. You really dream of that. Now you have no trouble. And then they take it a step further, right? And I ain't putting anything against the females, but they know a female cannot raise a male. They can't do it. They can do the best they can. How they don't know how to be a male. And a lot of females, I mean, they're upset about what happened or everything. I understand that. And so they try to make the man, they think the problem is the man needs to be more compassionate. That's the last thing our men need to be compassionate right now. Be worried, need to be kick ass. But so now they try to be like mama. That's why you see all these braids now. I can't understand how a man that's taking care of business, serious, can sit in a chair for 2 or 3 hours, has my braid in his damn hair. You ain't got nothing better to do then. That's where this stuff comes from. I ain't something about braiding my hair when I was a child. They're trying to be like mama. Good daddy ain't around, and then if daddy's around, you got braids too. All this is mental things. I said it's a mental assassination. And I don't care whether you meant or you don't mean it. You can't tell me, oh, I hit you, I mean, I feel better now. I'm in chill with children. I was like, I didn't mean, I don't care what you meant. I care what you did. Anybody feel wrong about what I said, that's their problem. Because when you get home, that's the kind of talk you're gonna get. You're gonna be right. You know, in Arabic and in our actual language, and that's what we did before we came here. You know how you got your name? You know, Prophet Muhammad, that wasn't his actual name. He had a lot of names. Praiseworthy, that was not the name he was born with. It means praise because he was praiseworthy. Because they would call, like you call people name, hey, man, you're a thief, you're a robber, you're a pimp, you're no good. That's what you know how we do. But in Arabic, in our land, no, that would be your name. That would be your name. You call everybody see you a pimp, they call you, that would be your name. He was just an attribute, not be your name. So if you're a good person, you'd be called Muhammad. If you're praiseworthy, you call Muhammad. If you was whatever. See? So that'd be your name. But in English, oh man, but it's designed for deception. The whole language is designed for deception. That's why. That's how you empower for lies. You put you encase inside the truth. So they eat the cake, they don't realize they're taking the poison. Eat the shit with it. They may enjoy eating the shit. Look at shipments, I mean, I know. So I just understand these things, brothers, these concepts. Because none of you, if I took and ran over you with a car, and now you in a wheelchair somewhere, none of you would be satisfied with me telling you I didn't mean to do it. But you playing with the angel, and you doing worse than that, because that is designed to save lives, and what you're doing is you're putting shit in, you're poisoning it. So whether you do it intentionally or unintentionally, it doesn't matter. The effect is still the same. Somebody's going to die, somebody's going to be hurt. It's like people lost for lack of knowledge. Why? What kind of knowledge they lack of? Lack of knowledge. What kind of knowledge? You look at, say, what kind of knowledge? You say, oh, they don't have. No, it's just a type of knowledge. It's not. They have knowledge. It's a type of knowledge they don't have. You say, oh, people lack because they don't know anything. No, because of certain knowledge they don't have. And that knowledge, if it's poison knowledge, it's still bad knowledge. They might know, okay, we're going home and this, and they might have that. But then they're going home to Africa. See? So they got the knowledge, yeah, man, out the angel, man. I had people do that. And they don't understand. That's the lion's den. That's Esau, that's home Esau, and they after you. That's gonna be the final war. You see what I'm saying? It's gotta be right. Can't be fucking around with it. I'm using that word purposely today because I said I'm not going to use it, so I'm going against my word. I said I was going to be cool with it, but I'm get the point across. Because Nobody's getting, but you're gonna get in a few minutes. Because I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. Iran is going to retaliate. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I told you the war is coming. I've been right 100% on all of this, the timing and everything. When they attack, right? You think they're going to sit around and scratch their heads? No, they're going to attack all American bases. You think we're going to chaos here in America? People going to be blaming Trump. They're going to come after him. People going to be, oh man, we need to do more. But they don't understand how much power Iran has. Because the Strait of Hormuz, they close it down. You know what's going to happen to oil prices here? You want to pay $10, $50 an hour, gallon or more? I told people, get that food. Because if oil price goes up, food goes up. How do you think to get it all to the stores? They got to pay more money for gas, so that means they're going to have to charge you more. Electricity and everything, so you got to charge more. So now you're paying astronomical amounts for more food if there's food available at all. And if food gets too high, anybody's going to pay for it. You know they're going to go and take it. You're going to see, I told you the other day, once this war starts, they're going to happen very fast, right? Okay? And why do you think they're lying and stuff? When you're lying, that means you're lying because you're defensive. You're losing control. If you have control, you don't have to lie. So they're lying their ass off, and Trump using all these tricks. Oh, surprise attack. That was cowardly. You're the most powerful country in the why you gotta sneak up and do a cowardly attack on Iran? So we're gonna have a negotiation on Sunday, and then you have false attack them on Friday before sneak attack. And they told me, you got 2 weeks, and then you bomb them in secret because you're fucking cowards, and you're in trouble. Yeah, I use the word again. I'm gonna keep on using it. If that rocks your boat, and Iran and Masrah is going to show his hand in a minute because it says he's going to beat him. He's with him. The Michael and his angels. So they attack, and so Iran's going to hit all their bases, which don't happen when that happens. And then they shut down the Strait of Hormuz when 70% of oil passed through there. All price will go to the ceiling. That means everything will go to the ceiling. That's going to be beginning of economic woes, which is going to be part of this whole process. That's going to be one of the major things, because when it hits a certain level, that's when you start waking up. Because the American dream collapses, and then you realize what you've been clinging to. So Allah will lift you up, you cling to the earth. What you're clinging to is not there anymore. Nothing. So now you can lift it up and now decide whether you want to stay up or not. That's your choice. So that's to help you get from Masrah Muhammad. They're going to close down Strait of Hormuz. They will hit. That means thousands, I don't know, maybe tens of thousands of soldiers going to be wiped out, and the rest going to be running. It's out of the frying pan to the fire, running to Europe. They ain't going to be welcome there. When they get there, Europeans going to be extremely mad. You know why? Because the economy just collapsed. Why? Because there's no oil. Why there's no oil? Because Iran got control of the Middle East now, and they cut off Europeans because they was something in America. So now they're not oil. So at that time, economic collapse. America, we need oil. America can't get oil to them. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't. They can't fly it over in planes. They got to send it by ships. You know how many ships they need to fuel Europe? How long would it take ships to get there? Right? And so where they going to get oil from? So only two places they can get oil from. They can't get from the Middle East anymore. They're from Russia and from all the American bases that still have fuel reserve on their bases. So what do you think they're going to get? They're going to attack all the American bases, take the fuel from there. They'll be desperate. And they're going to ally with Russia. So now because Russia has plenty of fuel. So now America's got a Russia there to help protect their military was getting wiped out. Because the Europeans are attacking, they're going to turn on America. That's Armageddon, Farrakhan. So now America's a full-blown war over Europe, and it says all your love is going to turn against you. So now all Europeans are they're against you, and they're on side with Russia, and all your military base on attack. And the men that got ran out of Because when Iran hits the bases, those people gonna run out there, their ass on fire. That's what it says in the chapter. They're gonna throw their ass out of there. They'll run their ass out of there. They're gonna abandon the Middle East, and that means the false Israel gonna be abandoned and be surrounded. So when you said Jerusalem summer armies, no, it's destroyed. Well, I want to read that verse. The verse says clearly, who controls Jerusalem? False Israel. Said when they surround armies, their destruction is near. That's what's happening, bro. So that's where we are. They're about to be destroyed. American Britain will not be helped because they get kicked out. Could hit all those bases, hit their ships in the sea. They're gonna run their ass up to Europe from the frying pan to the fire, because all their bases gonna be attacked there. So all their bases in the Middle East was attacked, and they run out there. They run into Europe, where they're gonna be on attack there from the Europeans, that so-called NATO, and it used to be their partners. That's Armageddon, the European war. And then it'll be war over here. I explained that it's going to be terrible over here. Economic woes, extreme, eventually economic collapse. All this diversity, everybody's going to, this immigration thing is going to hit a high new level, because America, all these people from all these different countries know who they are. And they pairing up anyway. And when America's attacked illegally, so they got a political problem here, because the Democrats will say we got to impeach him because he attacked the country. He declared war. He can't do that. It's up to Congress to do it. So he just did a legal action. He could be impeached for. But so the Republicans got control, right? So now he's got to keep those Republicans in line, and some of the Republicans went down with this war anyway. Because if they get more votes, then they're gonna put it out of there. Because all the Democrats, most all of them, are gonna be against them. They want to get him out of there. So you got that problem. And then says maybe he attacked a country that was attacking them, right? That's against so-called UN Charter. So China gonna say, well, hell, they did it, so now I'm gonna take Taiwan. What America gonna say? The Russians say, I'm gonna take Ukraine. What are they gonna say? Remember all the hotspots I've been telling you about? The Russians gonna take Ukraine. China's gonna take Taiwan. War's on. Martial law. Draft. We don't want nuclear. Draft. Now they got a reason to draft, and they're gonna call black folks like you can't imagine. Almost all. That's one of the reasons it says throw them into the river. You've understood the river. Can you understand that, Farrakhan? This was planned. Just planned not to go nuclear, because once they get rid of all the blacks, they can get rid of. Then they said let's settle down. Let's have a treaty. Let's work out something. Let's have peace. That's what it says. That's what it's all about. False Israel. That's going. Now black folks will start coming together. They can't have that. That's why weaken black folks put the women in charge, to the men out. So once false Israel go down, they said they're gonna attack us. But just before they do that, right? It's getting to that point when China, they say, oh, China, Russia, we got to have a war. We're so on. We got to have this draft and restate the draft. If Farrakhan already told them, we'll fight for this country. That's what Muhammad says. So you got those going. I'm telling people don't go. They trying to neutralize that by saying, oh well, you know, they said risk. See, they didn't think that meant anything, did it? The little piece of shit, just a little piece of shit in the cake. Only one to stand up for that. Elijah was the only one to stand up for it back in the 40s, 30s and 40s. That's what's going on. And so black folks going to join up. Our nation risks. We got to fight for America. That's Farrakhan telling them. Was he one of them? See? That's what's happening. So now America's at war over there, right? Armageddon, Russia, and EU. And now China goes ahead and take Taiwan. They just promised to defend that. So now, okay, it's on. It's already been on, but that's next level. It's going to get hot. It's going to be so hot, unprecedented. Every day you're gonna hear something new. Right now, they may be attacking right now the sites right now. Because I said last time, I said they may be, they may. I said any day now, Florida is going to attack them. I said maybe do it while I'm talking, and I think they did do it while I was talking right afterwards. So they may be doing it right now. It's going to be soon. They're going to retaliate. They ain't going to delay. And now China's got a reason. You could invade a country. It was legal. I'm going to take Taiwan now. So now America stretch. In Middle East, Europe, now there, draft. Get rid of as many black folks they can, all the decent ones. Because they got tell you, be 200 million. Why do you tell you 200 million army that China's going to have with India together? America can't produce an army that large, so they have an excuse to draft millions of people. Throw them into the river, throw them in that war. Let's get rid of us, because see, they lose control. And a lot of blacks won't fall for it. And those that don't, right? It's going to happen real fast. That's the attack. Finish off the rest, all blacks. So you can't have no word out of place, anything in there. Tell them, well, our nation at risk. Even if you're told what's wrong, you're still saying it. So why are you saying it? Who's paying you? You know, whether you're doing it intentionally or not, it don't matter to me. You're still doing it. Still saying. So if you're doing it unintentionally, then you're a fool, because you should go get paid. You're going to be paid. Go tell them pay you to do it. You're doing their work. So either doing it because you're stupid, you're a fool, or maybe you wanted it, or maybe you're a demon. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You're doing it. And the fact is still the same. I think I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. I could say so much about what they said today. Everything they said today was a total lie. Everything was all messed up. They're talking about grudges. God don't have a grudge. Wait a minute, let me speak of that. God don't have grudges. We should have grudges. That's things happened in the past. See, what he's getting at is, if you go to Farrakhan's things, spreading, we can't do what them as did to us. We can't do it. The Bible says clearly, it's not a suggestion, command. Do unto them double as done to you. We can't do. So that's what he's saying now. You can't hold grudges. That's what he's getting at. You can't hold grudges at white folks, because who are we going to have a grudge against? Who going to hold it? God has grudges. He said he's going to punish them for what they did to us. He said, do them. So that's not a grudge? Dude, he said he's going to judge them and punish them for what they did to us. Ain't that a grudge? And if we tell us to go back and do the double thing they did to us, ain't that a grudge? So we don't do grudges. No, you don't, because you got your face, head, and tongue up their ass. How you done? How you worked it out, Ishmael? You only got one head, but you got your head up the devil's ass and Farrakhan's ass too. So how are you working it out? How is that working? You must be some kind of contortionist. You got your head up both of their asses. Of Father Flake's ass and Farrakhan's ass. How is that working? And then another thing. God made everything perfect. And everything does is what women. Then where did the devil come from then? Where did evil come from? What the fuck are they talking about over there? They're stupid. Everything they say makes no sense. But they get away with it because falsehood. And if you're doing that, then you might as well be with them. Oh man, well, sometimes truth is really. Sometimes has to be correct, really. Then you preaching that gospel. Oh, our nation has a risk. You preaching that gospel. I don't give a damn what you said it. You preaching that gospel. You know, well, we got to do for ourselves. Who destroyed all that? 42 years and you ain't got a goddamn thing, Farrakhan. Now we got to do for ourselves. We got to take care of really? Who destroyed it? You've been fed in your own bed for 40-something years. I'm telling people, well, hey, you have energy, and you have to manage your own energy. And then we got people, they're doing welfare and sex and all that kind of stuff. And how do they represent this message? You see what I'm saying? It's all bullshit. And if you're doing it on purpose or not, it doesn't matter. You're still doing it. You're still working for them. Either you're with me or you're against me. Ain't no gray areas there. They say, well, he's almost with me. He's almost against me. You're with me or against me. That's the message they told me. If they're not with you, that's what said. Oh, some man, either they're with you or they're against you. See, they get things to me because they keep me focused. Because I'm doing so many different things. Say so many things, but you can see them because comprehend them not. That's what he said. He said, so many seeing many things, he comprehends them not. What do you mean comprehends them? Means relate to me. I see all these things. I ain't paying attention to how it affects me. I'm leaving myself vulnerable. So they keep sending this message, hey, watch out. They're gonna try to get you. They're gonna betray you when you get there, right? And watch out. Treat them better. Watch out for them because they cut them down. Those messages directed to me. I'm gonna leave it there, brother, since I think this. See anything else here? I talk about this fool. Talk about this. And damn, I ain't gonna go into, right? I talk about this shit, right? He turned into, that's a white boy right there. I said, the message, he could turn to a exceedingly great army. He's gonna turn back to a exceedingly great army. Right? They don't want to talk about the message of the covenant. Why don't we talk about them? What don't we talk about? How do they want to talk about the message of the covenant? Hey, when it comes to covenant, they want to deal with it. They want to talk about the message of the covenant. They want to talk about the covenant and Abrahamic covenant. No, they want to talk about, hey, you're sinful, you're wicked. How do you want to talk about the covenant? You don't get reward for being sinful and wicked. Right? They don't talk about the message of the covenant, the one you're supposed to be seeking. That's their problem. I'm not here to save you. I'm here to give you information to save yourself. Right? And then it's going to clown over, right? Oh, see, the undermine. See? He's the greatest man on the planet. He's the man of the covenant. He's got it all down. He knows it. And then say something to him, they're going to talk to me. I'm a man like you and all this shit. See? That's what he's really thinking. Because if you want to know what's in a fruit, just squeeze it. There's an apple, you don't get apple juice. There's an orange, you get orange, you just squeeze it a little bit. And show what's really in it. Let me say this one little thing. This little wisdom, maybe somebody might pick up or not. There's a lot of stuff I can tell you. You know, when you do, like I said, anybody that comes against this will be broken. Anybody that falls will be crushed. Because I'm changing this whole reality. It starts, that's why you only said one prophet. You only need one prophet, high pressure. High pressure overcomes low pressure. I don't care how much low pressure there is. Okay? So if you try to come against high pressure, all you're doing is spend a lot of energy for nothing. See, if low pressure try to come, they're going to let America spend a lot of energy trying to stop me. It's worse. That's why America going broke. Trying to stop me. A lot of this message, they're going broke. Trying to put false. Look how much money America's losing trying to keep false heroes up there. To stop this mess, they can't do it. They're going broke doing it. See? So they try to, it's impossible. They spend money trying to do it. See? So the thing is if you come and like, for instance, in this situation, I just use this situation as an example. They come over here, you're trying to mess this message up. Okay? But you got to spend a lot of energy because you're low pressure, you got low pressure mind. Okay? So you develop all this negative energy, right? Trying to stop this. Because remember, you invested in something, you're taking more, let me say it another way. You get some, you say you get $1,000 a day, right? So now, you taking $1,200 for somebody else. So now you got 200 more than you're supposed to have, so now you got $200 of negative energy, right? So if you oppressing somebody or you attack somebody or you try to use somebody, whatever, right, that's energy that you applying in that direction, more energy than you have. It takes energy to do everything. So you taking energy, pretend you somebody you ain't, or trying to go against his message. So you create negative energy for yourself because, right, use more energy than you have. You build negative energy for yourself. So that means that's bad luck. Okay. So what happened is that you're losing by having bad luck because you're not affecting this message. The more you try to affect it, the worse it's working for you. I'm trying to put this in a way that's easy to understand. Because it'll backfire on you. Because whatever you do is going to backfire on you. Because you build up negative energy for yourself, that's backfire. Okay. So in this particular case, so in other words, what happened is you're going to create a situation that's going to cause you to be crushed. See, if you go, in other words, if a rock is rolling down the hill, if you stay away from the rock, but if you get in front of that rock, you'll be rolled over by that rock. So if you directly resisting, that's like you standing away that rock, and the rock's still rolling, and that's gonna take you a lot of energy to keep. If the rock hits you, to try to keep that rock from rolling on you. See what I'm saying? Because now you got the rock. You make contact with the rock, but now you got all the energy trying to keep the rock from rolling. But if you just stepped aside and went your way, you wouldn't be bothered with that. So you put yourself in that situation to be crushed. Okay? So in this particular case, you probably won't understand it. This particular case, this person, right? They did something. Now whether they're intentional or not, it don't matter. But it's still negative energy because they did it. See, if you step off of a 10-story building, you might intend to do it. So gravity gonna say, hey man, he didn't intend to do it? No, it's gonna crush your ass. I'm saying it doesn't matter whether you intend or not. You cannot escape consequence. Consequence don't say, well, he didn't intend to do this. He didn't intend to put his finger in the fire. He didn't intend to fall off that building. He didn't intend to shoot himself. It doesn't matter. The consequence is gonna get you. So you was doing something that was destructing this message, right? So now it's resistance, so everything has opposite reaction. So by doing that, he manifests himself to be crushed. He did it to himself. He exposed himself. Because then he come in, what's going on, man? Well, you the reason why this is going on. Oh yeah, damn shit, I'm not gonna marry you, man. See, so he exposed himself, man, he's crushed. I don't know if you pick up on that or not. I'm saying, the simplicity of the Christ, which means all you gotta do is take your mind, increase your mind, right? That's what the engine's for, to higher pressure. Then you ain't got to worry about all the details about lower pressure. You ain't worry about quality, anything. Yeah, because they can't touch you. I said, no head and hungry harm. See? But somebody said, well, if I do that, man, I don't have to listen to him. I can just go through tribulation. Right? And I don't have, they can't touch me. No. Maybe you're right. But remember I told you about hell? Okay, say for instance, you're high pressure. Right? You're in high pressure. You high pressure in the lake, and you high pressure and all the water is low pressure, you right? But all the water is shit and piss. It can't drown you, but that's what you gotta drink. Assalamu alaikum.
Although the Nation of Islam, does not presently advocate violence by its members, the group does preach hatred of the white race and racial separatism. The membership of the Nation of Islam is organized and poses a real racial threat. The Nation of Islam is responsible for the largest black nationalist newspaper, which has been used by other black extremists. The Nation of Islam appears to be the personal fiefdom of Elijah Muhammad. When he dies, a power struggle can be expected and the Nation of Islam could change direction. We should be prepared for this eventuality. We should plan how to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation, deleting the race hatred and separate nationhood aspects. In this connection, Chicago should consider what counterintelligence action might be needed now or at the time of Elijah Muhammad's death to bring about such a change in Nation of Islam philosophy. Important considerations should include the identity, strengths, and weaknesses of any contenders for Nation of Islam leadership. What are the positions of our bureau deletion informants in regard to leadership? How could potential leaders be turned or neutralized? The alternative to changing the philosophy of the Nation of Islam is the destruction of the organization. This might be accomplished through generating factionalism among the contenders for Elijah Muhammad's leadership or through legal action in probate court on his death. Chicago should consider the question of how to generate the factionalism necessary to destroy the Nation of Islam by splitting into several groups, bureau deletion. Do you think that the FBI just folded and walked away? Read this document carefully. Did not the FBI accomplish each of their goals? Did not Farrakhan deliver everything the FBI wanted? We should plan to change the philosophy of the Nation of Islam to one of strictly religious and self-improvement orientation. Sunniism, Scientology. Deleting the race hatred. Don't call devils anymore. Deleting the separate nationhood aspects. We ain't going nowhere. No existing economic program. The reason why these facts are ignored is because those that surround him are demons, fools, idolaters and FBI agent handlers who make sure he stays on track.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flagler as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is, you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
yes, sir,
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity.
Yes, sir.
So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you. Go ahead.
One more time, brother. A whole new message today, didn't they? Brother, you know about skin? Farrakhan follows the devil. Look at him. So there's be no mercy for those folks that's with him. Be no mercy. And those clowns, Ishmael and them, they have no idea what's about to hit them. And we're talking about a long time. We're talking about very few days. Nation of Islam will change hands in very few days. Very few days, no doubt about it. This whole thing wrap up by the end of the year. That's just this part of it. As far as Nation of Islam and our people coming together, our people be together by the end of the year. A few more days. Once you get hands, says the terrible thing to come and fall in the hands of the Son of Man. They have no idea what's about to happen. No idea whatsoever. Yeah. Just listen to that. And those that heard this stuff and still with it, what you think will happen to you? So are you about truth? This is truth. This is facts. Look at Aaron. You say, Aaron, look at Aaron. You go back here and check this, and then I'm ready to close the boxes. What said Aaron did? You want to tell he's Aaron, Malachi. What did I tell you about Malachi? Right here. Said it before, the God, messenger. Then somebody's robbing the nation who cursed with a curse. 55, cancer. Blew his ass up with those radiation pills. He said we're turning the nation, NOI, into a lab stop before us in the clown. And that's a white boy right there in that uniform, in that clown suit. And then Joshua said Aaron didn't make to the promise, saying he died in the wilderness. And says when Elijah says God sent Elijah back, said, man, that fool went crazy down there. You know, turned against me, you know, turned against the teachers. This was says Aaron right there. Those who believe in part of the book, this being other, a severe chastisement, most severe chastisement. It says right there, it's clear. How can you get around it? How can you get around it? It's clear who this clown is. He said, man, son of perdition. So I'm just telling you this. We don't care if you listen or not. This is a bear witness against you. Because you're going to have to answer, why you just, it's telling you right there clearly who he is. You read Exodus, didn't you? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you clearly. What did Aaron do after Elijah's absence? It's clearly. What about Malachi? Who is that person that's robbed, that's cursed with a curse, that's robbing the nation? Has he produced anything? See, and we come at you, and you can't answer it. So, so what you think will happen to you? And the message of covenant, but we're seeking, what did you seek this message of covenant he was talking about? How come you ain't talking about him? How about the Abrahamic covenant? After 40 years, be a plague, kill the firstborn, that's the elderly, that's COVID. And then, the message of the covenant, take you home. What about that one? Vast covenant, he ain't going nowhere. So he's saying God's a liar? He says, God can't lie. Ain't that what Farrakhan the lie said? God can't lie. Well, then you said he's a liar. Because he said we're going home to Arabia. It actually says, River Euphrates and the great Egypt. That great river Egypt. That's Arabia. Look at the map. But he said, no, you ain't going nowhere. So he said, but God don't lie. Well, you call him a liar here. You call Elijah a liar. Elijah said, we'd be fools to stay here in the land of imprisonment. You say, we ain't going nowhere. So you call Elijah a liar too. You calling God and Elijah a liar. So those that stick with him, they have nothing to stand on. Nothing. Nothing to stand on. And they have to answer. They can answer. Oh boy, what's going to happen to them?
Washington, D.C. Louis Farrakhan suspects that his father may have been Jewish. At least that's what he tells.
Let me just go ahead and play this, brothers and sisters. And then I'm getting ready to close.
Washington, D.C. Louis Farrakhan suspects that his father may have been Jewish. At least that's what he tells Henry Louis Gates Jr. in the current issue of the New Yorker magazine. Speaking of his father's white Portuguese parents, the Nation of Islam leader said, "I'm going to tell you something. You really want to know what I think? I think they were members of the Jewish community." He added, "I believe that in my blood, and not in a bad way. Because when I was a little boy I used to love listening to the Jewish cantors in Boston. They had a program, and every week I would listen. I was struck by the cantor, and I've always loved the way they sing or recite the Torah." Gates, citing an academic source, says Farrakhan's assertion about his lineage is highly probable given that nearly all people of Iberian descent in Jamaica and Barbados are of Sephardic Jewish ancestry. Farrakhan was born in 1933, the son of May Clark, who was from Barbados. He was named Gene after his father, a light-skinned man with straight hair from Jamaica. His father, Gates writes, was a philanderer whom the family rarely saw. "If in my lineage there are Jews, I would hope that in the end, before my life is over, I not only will have rendered a service to my own beloved community of black people but will also have rendered a service to the Jewish community," Farrakhan was quoted as saying. In the interview with Gates, which reportedly lasted 9 hours, the Nation of Islam leader also made reference to wise Jews who plan evil, the international conspiracy of Jewish bankers and overwhelming Jewish complicity in the slave trade. Jewish groups expressed outrage over Farrakhan's latest public statements. Farrakhan's effort to make it appear that he is merely criticizing the evil he finds in his own Jewish antecedents is a reflection of the bizarre and ludicrous nature of his entire behavior towards Jews, Phil Baum, executive director of the American Jewish Congress, said in a statement. Meanwhile, a planned protest against the Anti-Defamation League of B'nai B'rith fizzled last week when Washington, D.C., police denied former Nation of Islam spokesman Khalid Abdul Muhammad entrance to the B'nai B'rith office. Flanked by 4 bodyguards in black fatigues, Muhammad took a moment to rail against the ADL and the Jewish community before he departed the scene. "This is a criminal organization and a criminal enterprise that has lied and spied on black leaders and black organizations," said Muhammad, who was dismissed as Farrakhan's spokesman in 1994 in the wake of a national controversy surrounding a vehemently anti-Semitic speech he delivered at Keene College in New Jersey. Muhammad called the ADL and its parent organization, B'nai B'rith, one of the main arteries of improper propaganda and nefarious activity that has greatly influenced the larger American Jewish community. In brief remarks to reporters, Muhammad said the black man and black woman are the chosen people of God and we want to put an end to this lie of the so-called Jews, these people who crawled out of the caves and hills of Europe just a few years ago claiming our birthright. Standing astride Muhammad was Malik Zulu Shabazz, the leader of the Washington, D.C.-based Unity Nation who gained notoriety for leading anti-Semitic chants at Howard University student rallies in 1994. Shabazz said the ADL is an oppressive organization that comes from a people that are by nature evil and wicked.